The Thread of True Essence, a Bohemian Guide. The quest for true essence begins not on a map, but in the heart's quiet, persistent hum. It led her, Yoko, to a magnificent, silent tapestry woven from time itself, the Bohemian Aesthetic. Tired of fleeting, algorithm-driven trends, she sought not just threads and textures, but the resonant, soul-deep philosophy they carried. It was a conscious choice, a deceleration in a world obsessed with speed. There, amid the deep scent of sandalwood and forgotten ink, she met Joe, whose hands were stained with indigo, and whose eyes held the layered history of every distant road. "This current," he murmured, gesturing to the swirling deep colors, "is a story told in the cloth of centuries. It first bloomed in 19th-century Parisian studios with defiant artists, drew wild life from the Romani travelers' perpetual freedom, and roared again with the 1960s fierce call for peace. Its singular, enduring core is simply liberation, a radical authenticity that stands against today's pressure for uniformity." But where does the wellspring of this inspiration truly lie? Yoko wondered, running a finger over a faded geometric pattern. Joe pointed up to a skylight. "It is in the sinuous Art Nouveau curve of a wild vine, the honest, rough-hewn texture of folk art, and the deep silence of the ancient forest. It is nature's untamed spirit. Its symbols are the waxing moon, the flight of a feather, and the limitless, unowned horizon. This focus on the handmade and natural is, in our modern age, a manifesto for sustainability and slow consumption, filtering the spirit of the earth through the discerning eye of a traveler." He unfurled a magnificent heavy bolt of wool fabric. The essential palette is the earth itself, the deep, grounding earthy browns, greens, and oranges of tweed, loam, and sun-baked clay. Yet, the liberated spirit demands a flash of light, the vivid turquoise of high desert stones, the warm, pulsing yellow of a harvest sun, and the comforting, hopeful soft pinks of a new age dawn. These textures and colors are a digital detox for the eye, a tangible anchor in a two-dimensional world. The fabric was a symphony of swirling paisley motifs, bold geometric killam bands, and delicate hand-stitched floral embroidery. "The wardrobe is a whisper of history and a shout of comfort," Joe noted, handing her a collection of pieces. Yoko began the ritual of layering, a loose, finely embroidered linen top, a sweeping maxi dress with dramatically wide sleeves, and a soft, antique velvet waistcoat. "Layering is the truest language," he declared. "It speaks of journeys taken and stories collected. It is a philosophy of comfort, not constraint, an active refusal of the body-shaming, restrictive silhouettes imposed by fleeting fashion cycles." For his own anchor, Joe pulled on a simple, textured cotton shirt, a heavy corduroy jacket, and a soft leather fedora. "Menswear is rooted in texture and utility," he affirmed. "Wool, canvas, and wide wale corduroy are the tactile anchors. A deliberate move toward longevity over disposability, mirroring the modern appreciation for Gorpcore's function-first philosophy." He then styled Yoko's look for a hypothetical afternoon poetry reading, adding a thick, hand-woven tapestry bag and simple leather ankle boots. "Now, we find the radiant pulse," Joe smiled, presenting a handful of gathered silver. "Jewelry is the map of the soul. Layered necklaces of beaten silver and found bone, wide hammered cuffs, and dramatic kinetic earrings. These pieces are modern talismans, meant to carry meaning, not just shimmer. The beauty guide? It is the purest echo of nature, effortless, undone waves, a skin that simply glows with health, and perhaps a kohl-lined eye that hints at far-traveled romantic horizons. It's an embrace of self that says my truth is more beautiful than any filter." Yoko was shown two framed, faded textile studies. These are the teachers. Historically, think of the wild, defiant artistry of Isadora Duncan, or the romantic, ethereal drama of Stevie Nicks. Modernly, it is the effortless eclecticism of Florence Welch, or the earthy, intellectual polish of Lisa Bonet. They embody the aesthetic not as a fleeting costume, but as a deliberate, radical way of being. Retrospectively, this style has always been the champion of slow fashion, valuing repair and longevity before the concepts were mainstream. They shared rich, spiced tea from small, handleless cups. The significance is profound, Joe mused. It's a perpetual, gentle counterculture. It championed slow fashion before the term existed, and its silhouettes are the direct ancestor of modern festival wear. But more importantly, it allows for radical self-acceptance in a curated, social media world where authenticity is the new luxury. Yoko took a slow sip, ready for the application. Modern tips, Joe shared. 1. Layer a vintage silk maxi dress with a sharp, tailored blazer. 2. Invest in one truly great, folk-patterned piece as an anchor. 3. Master the art of intentional unmatching. 4. Mix metals and textures with confidence. 5. Above all, let your hair and spirit be gloriously free. Yoko rose, the aesthetic now a fully integrated, vibrant pulse within her. The threads of history, the deep hues of the earth, and the ceaseless call for liberation were now permanently woven into the quiet fabric of her own truth. She had not merely studied a style, she had embraced a philosophy of intentional living, a digital age manifesto for intentionality and self-acceptance. She left the studio, carrying not heavy bags, but a magnificent, radiant pulse of inspiration, ready to face the modern world with an ancient, soulful, and wholly authentic grace.